Hello and welcome to the another episode of for D365 of Finance and Operation Technical Training. I think today is a day 8 and today we are going to create a data entities against two tables. Right, data entities are abstraction. With the help of that we can import and export data into D365 of Finance and Operation. Even with respect to data entities, we can integrate D365 of Finance and Operation with the third party applications, and with the help of data entities we can use Excel add-on to put data into this D5 finance and operations. In the last video we created two tables, extend those tables as per my requirement. So I'm going to create data entities on those tables. Data entities required one thing, that is unique index. Their registration ID, customer account, customer number, reference, and post it. And then we have agreement line. In agreement line we have a ledger account, ledger account type, payment ID, and rest of information, right? And if we go there, if we see the indexes, unique index line has already unique index, either unit number and payment ID, and with respect to that it will be a unique index. Yes, alternative key and allow duplicate, no. It means we can create data entities on these tables too. So let's begin. It's very easy. There is one way that we have to right click here on a project, add, and create a new item. Before that, there are too much tables in my model, so I'm going to copy my table name, so it will easier for me to create data entities. Right click, okay, add new item, and then D365 for finance and operation objects, and I'm extending it, and data model, and here is data entity. So here I am putting the same name, data entity, and at the end I mention E and T. Right, you can use your own naming convention, and I click on add. So here our wizards are open, and here we have to define the data entity table. So currently it is a master table, so I instead to either we have to select or we can paste directly. So it did not allow me to, I am putting al. So all my tables are coming here. My al is my extension for my model. So I am going into payment register table. Right click on it and click on next. It asks me that all those fields are required, and these are labels, already labels I'm using. I have to change the label, or so either you have to change the labels or use the same, right? It using the label names, fields, or if you want to add anything mandatory you can set here. I did not think anything is a mandatory. I select next. So what it creates al payment registration table ent, and it creates two privileges. This is the extraction, and you can see it also create the staging table, right? If we go, let's see what it will create it. If we go double click on it, right click on our properties, and here are some properties: data area ID, primary context, data area ID, primary key, entity key, and then data management enabled, yes, and staging table's name is this. And so if we see the properties, we can see here, and you can see there with respect to OData or a web service. So it means yes, mean it is accessible through web service OData, and its public collection name is entities, and public table is ent, right? We can use it, right? And now I'm going to confirm this and and let's see what will be data privilege, security privileges. It will be created. It create two security privileges. One is give us the data entity permission, and here is delete all. And for reading data, we have to, it provides us the data entity with read. So we have a two privileges with respect to that. We can provide access that anyone can be and anyone can be read data, or they were enabled, they have so with the help of this, that we can, with the help of these data entities, we can provide the read only access to the these tables or data entities, or someone have a rights to insert data in it, insert, update, or delete data, right? So in this way we can do that. This is a staging table. Let's see, in the staging table, it created automatically. It has almost same fields in it, right? And now I'm going to create another data entities on other table, that is a payment register lines. So it is a huge table, and it has references with the other lines that I had already created into my data source or my project. Here is another option that we have to click on it, double click it, open that table. Here right click, and here is add-on, and here we can provide a create a data entities, related roles. I'm going to create data entities. Click here. It creates the data entity, staging tables and security artifacts were created and added to the project. Let's see what it created. It create another data entity. Its name is al payment register line entity. And here let's see, it's create the solution, it create the fields, data source fields, and it also create keys, because we already said that payment id and unit id must be same. We can also, logically it's not right that one unit can have a multiple payments, because it can sell multiple times, multiple times, or multiple register. So but anyhow, this is perfectly fine for a current example. And now I'm going to, let's see how it's created. So it creates the payment register lines and payment register lines. So I don't want, so I want to something to identify my controls. So I add al, so I can easily identify. I'm not publishing for any client, so my data entities will be here. And it also have a public, it means raw data can be accessed on the cloud, and similar data entities and entity key. And even sometimes in some, whenever we are going to publish to live server or a production server, so sometimes our data entities are not visible there, for the reasons that we did not populate the label field. So I'm going to create the same name here, hard coded. When you are developing, you use the labels, right? And similarly, I am also update the entity table, right click on it, properties, and here I also copy the label here, save it. Now I'm going to compile my project, so this will be available on production on a live environment. In the next video, I'm going to use these data entities to fetch data. So in next video, I'm going to share you that how you can import data through data import export framework, and there I am going to search these data entities. So before that, I'm going to build, right here, build, and synchronize table, apply, and okay, and I'm right click on it. Let's see what will happen. So I have found two issues, and so after compilation, full model build and sync, I'm finally successfully compiled the project. In the next video, we will load data through these data entities in data import export framework. Thank you for watching. See you in another video.